This is an orthokeratology case where, after the most recent lens change, the patient's experiencing a cylindrical overrefraction. It seems like the lens is inducing astigmatism here right at the visual axis, and that's in both eyes. And it's a fair amount. I think it's around 2 diopters or so, and it was not present in the patient's habitual refraction. So I'm going to pull up the two most recent lens designs. And when I see irregular astigmatism right inside at the visual axis, to me it looks like it's kind of like a central island that's trying to form, but hasn't formed completely. And usually what I recommend is just try to get this lens to bear down a little bit more centrally. If we look at the current design and the design previous to it, which seemed to be working okay, possibly with just a little bit of undercorrection, really the only change was a little bit of flattening to the base curve for more of a push on the central cornea or pull on the mid-periphery. And it seems that that was the tipping point that caused the refraction to kind of go haywire. I would also just make sure that this lens, I believe it's an older lens, it's not warped, and that there aren't any unusual deposits on there that would be causing the problems. Given that's not the case, I would recommend trying to get this lens to bear down a little bit more on the apex of the cornea. And the ways we can do that is we can decrease the overall sagittal depth of the lens. I don't really want to pop it up too much here, I think, because you're getting pretty good alignments, maybe even borderline loose in the vertical meridian, looking at the posterior topography. So maybe adjusting the edge here, we can decrease the sag about 10 microns or so just by clicking up until we're about 1971 or 70. So this helps bring the lens just a little bit closer to the eye. And then what's worked fairly well for me in these cases is adding asphericity. So if we add in a shape factor of, say, plus 20 or 25, you'll see, well, first we want to note that the current topo demand is 7.12. That's going to change when we do this. So the entire center aspect of the lens has dropped down closer to the cornea. And we do want to maintain the same topo demand as before, so we need to adjust this a little bit. We'll bring this back down so it's 7.12. And looks like that one was closest. I'll double check each of the meridians. And got a little bit of variation here. So let's see, we can even that out a little bit. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. 58. Okay, back to 100%, and then we'll readjust one more time. Okay, so now we're about 7.12, and if you flip through the meridians, we're pretty even going all the way around. So this lens does bear a little bit more centrally. Hopefully that'll give us a more homogeneous treatment zone and get rid of that induced cylinder. Also, we increase the edge lift a little bit, see if we can get this lens to drop down and bear down a little bit more centrally. So I would give that a try and see if that helps take care of the residual astigmatism that's creeped up. So hope this helps, and good luck with your patient.